Hey guys, so today's Black at Work episode is being sponsored by Divine Crowns. Divine Crowns is a curated collection of handmade, bold, and beautiful African print head wraps. Follow divinecrowns.co, that's divinecrowns.co, for more information. They're on Instagram. And they're going to be providing updates and a quick tutorial on how to put together your head wraps. Head wraps, accessories, all available for purchase at divinecrowns.co. Enjoy free shipping on all orders that are over $50. So thank you, Divine Crowns, for sponsoring today's show.
I'm really intent on earning enough to the fact where I can give independent artists the true opportunity to get their music out, signed to a label, and we all eat and be successful without having to screw them.
Sounds like quality control to me.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. I will not have stories like Puff Daddy.
Well, if you have a fuck you know what to do. Send them to us here at blackatworkpod@gmail.com. You can also send them in anonymously on our website at blackatworkpod.com. Hit us up on socials at blackatworkpod. Our fuck you for today comes from Yaya James. Actually, this is not a fuck you. So, good evening, ladies. A few months back, I asked some of my Facebook friends, what's a good podcast they recommend? And someone posted your show. But I'm going to keep it 100. I didn't immediately look into it because I thought this was going to be some boring show about work. Like we already hate working, so why talk about it, right? Wrong. This show is completely not what I expected. Wow. The fuck you letters are relatable as hell, LOL. Then we talk shit about the news, which is again something I do at work every damn day. I don't even start working until I done made my breakfast and caught up on what's going on out there, LOL. Then it gets semi-serious for a second, and I learned about a woman who had the guts to live her life on her terms, a confidence I still struggle with. Next, y'all are talking about all my shows. When one of y'all said, fuck Jen, old hard face ass, that was Dana. Only Jesus could resuscitate me. Long enough to hit that subscribe button. I laughed the entire show. Ladies, you have a coworker for life. What a brilliant platform for us to share our stories and not be so dry about it. I cannot wait to listen to old shows and any new shows to come. Bless you both.
I was sure about to say that was a Nessa crazy ass. I forgot I had said that. Shout out to you. What was her name?
Yaya James.
Shout out Yaya.
Name, but yeah.
Yeah, shout out Yaya. Thank you so much for the compliment, and it makes us feel good to know that you guys are receiving the show exactly the way we intended it. We didn't want it to be like a stuffy type conversation, more so like a conversation you would have with your coworkers, you know, when the boss ain't around. So I'm glad that you enjoy the show, and, you know, tell a friend.
Thanks, Yaya, for writing in. We love you, girls. This next fuck you is actually a fuck you. So this comes from her name, I Quit. She says, I have been working at this hospital in the hospital services department for almost 14 years now. They don't pay good at all. So I've been having a second job this whole time. I loved the hospital and my job there in general, but I have been looked over 6 times for a team lead role. My department is 100% Black, and these women just promote who kissing their ass the most or who they best friend. I even try to befriend them, and they play nice, but still exclude me and have their own relationships with each other. Last month, another lead position came open after one of the other leads moved out of state. So of course I applied, interviewed twice, and the role was still given to my boss's friend. I've been here longer than all of them. I am so sick of these women. So today I'm giving my resignation letter. I had already said if I get passed up again, I was going to leave. So I'm doing it today. Sometimes you got to step out on faith and make a move.
That's right. I mean, and that's so crazy to hear this type of perspective, because we are always talking about these big corporations looking us over and the white people in charge looking us over, but Black people do it too. They hire their friends. They hire people they fuck with, the people that's kissing the ass the most. Like, I've even seen it in a company that I worked at where majority of the people were minorities. But I'm so sorry you even have to do that. 12, what did she say, 12, 13 years she worked there?
14 years she worked there.
That is a long ass time. And 6 times to be passed over just for a fucking team lead, big bird ass position. Bitch, y'all got me fucked up. No. So I'm glad that you're stepping out on faith. I pray that God has this type of alignment in your life and you're able to be fruitful past this. But yeah, it was fucked up the way they were doing you.
Yeah, and you don't deserve that. We've said a lot of times on this show, go where, you're wanted, go where you can grow, and don't continue to be stagnant. A lot of times, we say, well, I can't just move because, might not, you're scared of the unknown or scared of what's next, or if you don't have any plans. But for you to be working there for 14 years and you've applied for 6 times for a team lead position, you're tenured to all those candidates that have come before you, and they still aren't, like, they're not appreciating you and your skill set and all of that. So make a move and move on. God will provide, and you'll find another job. And please keep us updated and let us know your next job, because I'm praying and touching and believing with you that you're gonna have one real soon.
And swear to God, every time somebody comes at us and like, oh, I don't have a job, or I lost my job, or whatever, I had to quit or whatever, and we be like, girl, you finna get you another job. We touch and believe. And what happened? They write us back and be like, I got that job. So, not saying that we are God's angels or anything. I'm just playing.
I mean, I am. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but I really wish you luck on the rest of your journey.
Yeah, for sure. So that's all the fuck yous that we have for today. If you have one, please send them to us, blackatworkpod@gmail.com, to our email on our website, or hit us up on social media at blackatworkpod.
Well, today the water cooler is filled to the rim with bullshit. So I hope y'all are ready. Let's just go ahead and get into it so we can get all the shit out the way. All right. So we're going to start with the bullshit, I guess. Many of you have already heard about Casey Goodson Jr., who was a 23-year-old murdered by the U.S. Marshals Task Force on December the 4th. They shot him 3 times in the back through the door of his home as he was returning from a dentist appointment with a fucking Subway sandwich. This is in Columbus, Ohio, by the way. The U.S. Marshals for the Southern District of Ohio straight up said that they believed the shooting was justified, even though they confirmed that he wasn't even the fugitive that they were looking for. You bitches need to make yourselves make sense. What the fuck were y'all even doing fucking with him? His murderer is Jason Meade, a 17-year veteran to the police force. Look, bitch. If you want to retire early and get your pension and benefits and donations from racist ass back to blue ass bitches, then just say that shit. You don't have to roll around here killing our men and shit all willy-nilly just because you want to retire early. Okay? You're saying this man was waving a gun at you? Bitch, come on. You want us to really believe that? How are you a cop who has seen a gun every day at the very fucking least for 17 years of your life, the last 17 years, and you mistake a Subway sandwich for a gun? Please set yourself on fire and descend into hell with this bullshit. I'm sick of y'all.
Yeah, that's really ignorant. to your point, how do you not know? You've been in the force for 17 years and you don't know the difference between a fucking sandwich. Excuse my language. You don't know the difference between a sandwich and a gun. And I'm confused. Why were y'all fucking with him in the first place? Like, I don't know the full story. I don't know the backstory about this, but he walking home regular, going to get him a sandwich, doing whatever he doing, walking home, get up to his door. And why were y'all even following him in the first place? Like, I'm so confused. And this has nothing to do with anything, but he is very handsome. Looks like he had a lot going for himself. 22, 23. Like, it's uncalled for. And it's traumatizing. And, you know, we always talk about this, but this is so traumatizing to see this week after week, month after month, seeing our Black men being killed. And if people are out there just thinking that, you know, we just bullshitting about this, or, you know, it's not a real thing, or it's not a real issue that's running through these white people's veins, I don't know.
So from what I know, from what I've read, they approached him assuming that he was a fugitive. And there was some type of confrontation there because obviously he wasn't the fugitive. He doesn't even have a record. Right. And it got hostile for whatever reasons. I don't even know. I don't even give a fuck. It does not justify you shooting this man. He was not armed. He was not a threat to you. The only threat that you saw was his skin. And you shot him. You bitch. You wanted to retire early. You wanted these racists to put up GoFundMes so that you can get millions of dollars, just like these other bitch ass cops that have done the same thing. Like I said, you bitches are fucked up and you bitches are dumb. And of course the media is trying to paint him as a good man because he was a pastor. Let me tell you bitches something. Do you know how many prejudiced ass, white ass pastors there are in this goddamn country? That does not excuse him from being a fucked up ass individual. All those bitches voted for Trump. Paula White, her Klan crew, all of them bitches voted for Trump because they're evil. They're not good people. I don't give a fuck if this man was preaching the gospel. We know that ain't the shit that ain't the shit that God wanted us to learn. You out here just killing mobs. You're not. You are a 17-year veteran to the police force. And you are going to have a really fucking hard time with me, bitch. Convincing me that you thought a wrapped up fucking footlong was a gun. Fuck you. Fuck your descendants. Fuck your ascendants. All of you bitches. Your whole bloodline. Fuck y'all.
And that's on period.
That's on period. Anyway, let me reset because I done got so pissed. I done got so fucking pissed off. Yeah. Let me reset for a second. Whew. Okay, so R&B singer Anne Marie. I don't even know who this bitch is. I have never even heard of this chick. The first time I'm hearing about her is now. But she was arrested for killing her boyfriend. And she said that the gun accidentally went off and hit him in the head.
Girl,
you gonna have to come up with a better story than that. Have you not seen any episodes of Law and Order SVU? Like, you're gonna have to get that story way better than that. Find you a therapist. Obviously I wasn't there. I don't know what the situation was. I don't know what's going on, but something was in the mix where you involved a gun, Tory Lanez, and somebody, you need to be, something needs to happen here. Y'all need to talk to Dr. Phil, Inyanya, or whoever the fuck. Like, get your shit together.
And I don't know who Anne Marie is either. I did hear about this story, but Anne Marie, should nobody make you this upset? Now, unless he put his hands on you, then that's some self-defense ass shit. But other than that, if this man doing some petty stuff, like something that you can avoid, like he's cheating on you, or you done call some girls in the DMs, or he doing some crazy stuff like that, it's not worth losing your freedom and your life over killing him. But if it was some, justifiable,
Girl,
was
it
a
wasn't
justifiable situation.
justified because that would have been her first thing. He was beating me. That's why I shot him. Like, her story
Right.
is the gun accidentally went off and hit him in the
So
head.
it sounds like somebody, a girl, she don't like DM. What? You don't like the picture, like that you wasn't supposed to, and then you done got upset and then got the gun. Girl, see, it ain't worth it, sis. It is not worth your life to be doing all of that over a no good ass nigga.
And we can't even speak to his character. We don't even know the story, but like Anessa said, losing your life over a man, over a relationship, period, unless he was beating your ass and you was defending yourself, that shit is dumb. So go get help. All right. K. Michelle was lit on fire this week, as her dumb ass should be. She got on Twitter talking about how hard it is for her to make an R&B album without Robert. Basically, as you guys know, R. Kelly is in jail right now, so he can't help K. Michelle with her R&B album aspirations. And basically, she went on through several tweets, making it seem like he was a victim of circumstance and not some nasty ass bitch, some straight up fucking weirdo. No, bitch. There is no separate the man from the music on this shit. When he literally used his music to do this weird, fucked up shit to these children, because some of them were children, and these adult children. Because, you know, when you 18, 19, you still a child. You are a child. So he used his music and wrote about this shit, about these kids and shit. So there's no separating the man from the music here. K. Michelle, shut your dumb ass up.
Shut your bitch ass up!
Ain't nobody. Come on, Anessa, with the
Nobody. I got your background, girl.
Thank you, friend. Thank you.
Nobody.
Ain't nobody on their hands and knees waiting on a new R&B album, especially from you, bitch. Have several seats. If you did this shit, if you said this shit just to get some people talking about you and some clout, okay, you won. But now, I'm really not fucking with you. You're dumb. You're weird. Bye.
She could have just said that in her head. She could have just been like, dang, I wish. But for some reason, everybody feel like they got to take everything to social media and blast off every time, they got a feeling about something. And in this type of culture that we're in, okay, we're in a cancel culture. And then also people are not speaking up for Black women culture. You can't say that right now, sis, unfortunately. So I really feel like she should have kept that shit to herself, honestly. And her last few albums have been her last couple, I don't even know how many albums she's came out with, but the last couple of albums that I've heard from her, I believe the EPs or whatever, have been trash. So look, child, she might need, K. Michelle, get on the phone. Call, if you want to talk to R. Kelly so bad, call him or tell him, I'm sorry, not call him.
You have received a call from
the Chicago Correctional Facility. You accept these charges. Girl, tell this man to have his people call you and then y'all talk about this over the phone. Girl, because like all of that it's unnecessary, okay? And she probably done messed herself up by, saying all this. Now people probably like, you done with her. Like, people gonna be like, bitch, I ain't listening to these albums for this next album that you got coming out. So keep it to yourself, Kay. We don't care, honestly.
We don't give a damn, bitch. Oh my gosh. Really quickly, and I hate we doing this so quick because these people deserve way more recognition. But rest in peace to Natalie Desselle Reid. As you guys know, she passed away at age 53 due to colon cancer. That's our girl. Like,
What?
Yes, she was everything in all the movies that she was in, more famously Baps, y'all know. So shout out to Natalie. I grew up watching her, and literally she was one of the first big girls that I saw on the screen looking cute. And, that was kind of like that first taste of like that Lizzo energy back in the 90s. So she was dope to me. So rest in peace, Natalie.
I loved her. Like Babs, Eve. I don't know if y'all remember the show Eve that ran for a long time. She was a main character on that show. The list goes on and on. She is a queen of the culture, and man, fuck cancer, because it's taken two of our beloveds this year. Chadwick died from cancer, and then also her. So rest in peace and condolences to her family.
Yes. Also, rest in peace to Tiny. Well, he went by Tiny, but his name is Tommy Lister. And you all know him as Debo from Friday. He also passed away this week at the age of 62. So rest in peace, King. And thank you to your contribution to the culture.
Yes, rest in peace, Debo. This is sad. Like, we've lost a lot of good people this year. So rest in peace, and also condolences to his family as well. And Friday.
And you said, I'm sorry. You said it all sad like this is the movie Broadway.
Right.
Rest in peace, Friday.
Baby, watching that ain't gonna never be the same. Well, all of them ain't gonna never be the same. Watching Bab, like,
Same.
It's sad. But yeah,
rest in peace to all of you. All right. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are Time's 2020 Persons of the Year. They are on the cover of Time, and you know, I get it, because they really did do their thing this year. Broke records, broke glass ceilings, broke all of that shit. This is cute and everything, but they ain't did shit yet. Like, this presidency around, we are not fucking with y'all. We are going to hold your feet to the fire and make you stand and execute every fucking promise that you made us to get your ass elected. Or else you can go skedaddle after your first term like this last bitch. This, to me, just means like, hey, this is cute, but don't forget, we're holding you guys accountable. We fully expect for you to attain office January 21st and stand on what you campaigned on, because there's no more days of the Democratic Party or any fucking party failing the people that voted and supported them. And we're doing a lot to support y'all. So shout out to y'all though. Congratulations for this honorable achievement, you know. But again, y'all will be the persons of the year when y'all get the shit done that y'all promised to me.
Dana said, look, all that's cute now, but I ain't having it. I ain't taking it. I don't want to know nothing about it until I need y'all to be in there for a couple months, and then I'll give my review on how y'all are. I'll let you know if you should be the 2020 of the year in 2021 when we find out what's about to happen. No, but I'm very optimistic about Biden and Harris. Like you said, we did work hard to get you guys in there, but I'm hoping, and I'm trying to be optimistic that they're going to do what needs to be done. They already, I mean, they're, you know, elected, or is the word electing or appointing?
Elected. They've been elected.
I'm saying they're appointing.
Appointing people in their cabinet.
Appointing people in the cabin. They're appointing Black people in the cabin. Women.
Cabinet.
I'm sorry, not the cabinet, child. So they doing what needs to be done so far. But to Dana's point, you know, y'all gonna have to hold up y'all end of the bargain. Dana throwing y'all to the wolves, child.
Well, not just me. A bunch of people are holding them accountable, and I just don't want us to get so caught up in the hype. Like,
that's true.
Like when President Obama was elected, there was just a lot of hype and hopes and dreams and, oh, we're finally going to be free. Like, and I just don't want people I don't want this era of our political course to go the same way that it has ever been in the past. We need real change. And so like y'all are doing this cute shit, these cute little photo shoots and being on covers of magazines and all that stuff, you know, giving people hope and inspiring and giving people something to be proud of. But what we really need to be proud of is the policies and shit that you put in place. I didn't even mean to go on and on about that, but that's what I mean by that.
Yeah, I stand with you, friend, and everybody else.
Thank you, friend.
I stand with you. Black power. No, I'm just kidding.
Speaking of Black Power, Ben and Jerry's has teamed up with Colin Kaepernick to put together a new flavored ice cream. First of all, I do not like ice cream. I'm not a milk or dairy person. But
I'm not an ice cream person either. I thought I was the only one.
No, I don't like it. But I always keep some fucking Ben and Jerry's, bitch. And this is why. They do shit like this. They don't give a fuck if you racists don't want to buy their ice cream. Their good ass ice cream. You're missing out. But anyway, Kaepernick's flavor is called Change the World Non-Dairy, the flavor that's supporting the fight to dismantle systems of oppression and empower Black and brown people, coming to you guys' freezers in 2021. So shout out to Ben and Jerry's and Colin for doing that. That's dope.
Look, I'm gonna need all y'all racist folks to get a scoop of this ice cream, baby. Because look, maybe they put some potion in this damn ice cream that's gonna make y'all just go back to not being. I mean, y'all have always been racist, but just somehow have a change of heart. Take the ice cream. They done put some in it for y'all to have a heart and to love people as people. That's what I'm hoping they done did to this ice cream. They done put a chemical in it to change y'all, because y'all crazy. But no, shout out to Colin. He just continues to set the bar and continue to fight for justice for Black people. So that's dope as hell.
Yeah, it's dope as hell. And we are running late. So let me try to get through the rest of this really quickly. So COVID vaccines have been approved by the FDA. Good news for those of us who have been looking for some type of resolve to this very serious issue. Bad news for the U.S., though, because there are not a lot of vaccines to go around. And right now, the thing is, they are basically trying to determine who gets the first round of the vaccines. Should it be frontline workers? Should it be this? Should it be that? Whether or not you are choosing to take the vaccine, I guess the real news story here is it doesn't matter if you choose not to, because there's not going to be enough to go around anyway. So that's a problem. And of course, it's a problem because of your boy, Donald Trump. He declined Pfizer's, or Pfizer, I think it's called Pfizer. Pfizer is the medical company. They offered the U.S. more coronavirus vaccine doses, but President Trump turned it down. So we're fucked as long as this bitch is in office. And, you know, regardless of what you feel about the vaccine, at some point it's going to become our new norm. As you guys know, especially those of you who have been in school, got kids going to school, you can't even send your child to school without vaccinations. So if Corona is here to stay, the vaccines will be here to stay. Make your own medical informed decisions on what you want to do with your body, your life, your autonomy. But I am just Brian Gumble here reporting the news. And I'm just letting you know that there's not enough vaccines to go around. Back to you, Anessa.
Thanks, Dana. Reporting live. This is fucked up. No. Look, the folks that wanted the vaccine, I don't know. I'm just glad there's a vaccine. Hopefully everybody don't turn into zombies like they always say.
Okay.
We'll get to at least see what the first 2.9 million people, how they react to it. And then hopefully we can get some more money to get some more vaccinations to people. So I'm trying to be optimistic.
In MSNBC is expected to name Rashida Jones as the network's president. She's going to be the first Black executive to run a major cable news network. So shout out to her, Black Girl Magic.
Yay.
Starbucks names Melody Hobson board head, making her the only Black female chair of an S&P Fortune 500 company. So shout out to her.
Yay.
Black excellence. So let's talk about Tyler Perry. And I'm going to wrap it up here. You know, we love Tyler and the work he does for our community, especially our Black stars. So he was given the honor to produce the next Sister Act 3. So this shall be interesting. I'm guessing, you know, Sister Mary Clarence, she left the church after 15 years and started on a bad binge to like crack or something. Like
that's what Tyler Perry gonna make it do.
Yeah. Like she was doing crack, and then, you know, she left her abusive dark-skinned husband, and as she's walking down the crack street, she runs into this fine, tall, oddly available, why are you in this neighborhood type light-skinned man. And he like looks at her and is like, oh, I'm gonna get you off the streets. So, you know, he ain't got no money for real. He worked at Jack in the Box. But,
no.
You know, he helps her. He gets her off the street or whatever, you know, finds her way back to God. And she goes back to the church and praise the Lord. And in the church, you know, her old ex-husband, you know, the abusive dark-skinned man, he's sitting with his new bitch. But she gets all the glory as she walks past him like, I made it, bitch. A Tyler Perry production.
Baby, this sounds just like a Tyler Perry. Did y'all talk, Dana? And did he tell you the script or the storyline of what was going to happen? Because that sounds exactly. He gonna turn it into a horror movie. He's gonna do that. Please, Tyler Perry. Like, we love I can't even stop. We love Sister Act. That is like an iconic movie. Yeah, hopefully Tyler Perry don't turn this into a horror film. And we cannot afford, Tyler Perry, for you to come in and mess up everything we done worked hard for with Lauryn Hill being in the movie, Whoopi Goldberg, like some legends. Like, don't come up in here and like do this how that other movie was. What was that movie called that we just recently watched? That came out on Netflix. That was just an atrocious mess.
Struggling Black woman with abusive husband.
That wasn't it. I don't remember, but y'all know what I'm talking about. It came out on Netflix, and it was just all wrong. Tyler, just do us right, please. That's
please, for a chance, please. We support you. Support us with some good content, some great films, well thought out, well executed. Make sensible storylines, unpredictable storylines. Let's start there. All right. Yeah. All right, y'all. That's it for the water cooler. Let's take a break. All right. So guys, for our down to business segment today, we have Kevin James, who is the founder and executive director of the First Icon Agency, LLC, based in New York City. First Icon Agency is a multimedia entertainment company that provides services in artist bookings, music administration, representation, digital marketing, and playlist curation. Kevin has over 20 years of experience in the entertainment industry in various facets. He has worked as a recording artist, producer, studio engineer, radio host, and business manager. So this should be a pretty interesting conversation today. Kevin, thank you so much for being on our show.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So the obvious question, we want to start where you started. Why music? What got you into this industry? Why are you going so hard? Why are you passionate about it? What is it about music?
Well, I would say, even from a small child, my mother always played music in the house. She sang in the church choir, and it's just something that you just gravitated to. She played music from all types. She played R&B. She was a big James Brown fan, Stevie Wonder, all that stuff. So I listened to that. And at the same time, she would flip it to gospel at the same time while listening to something not so religious. She'd flip it to religious. Then we go back to something funky or something like that. But, that's where I gained my passion for music, just seeing what she did and just hearing the different styles of music. It just gravitated to me early. I mean, from like 7 or 8, I was like trying to make little songs, etc. And then it just developed in high school. And then once I got into college, I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do. So that's what drove it.
So, okay, so you said that you kind of in college, that's where it kind of began. So what did you start to do? Did you start in a music, did you start recording your own songs? Did you become a singer? How did it all start out for you?
Well, I got to college and yes, I was like, this is what I want to do. But of course, where do you start? So I was walking through the student union and wow, there's the radio station. Okay, beautiful. Let me get a start there as a DJ. So I started DJing there from 1 to 4 in the morning. That was my first time slot. And grinded it out for a year. And then all of a sudden, just by chance, a senior had left the school and I got the prime time spot from 8 to 10. So all of a sudden, I was just thrust into the, if you want to call it, the spotlight at the university. So from there, things grew. My name got out and then artists reached out to me to get on the show. And therefore, then I started to actually do raps and actually perform, got in the studio, do songs. So that's where that grew right there. And then that just, I got a little local following and I just love the energy of performing for the crowds. And that's what really built that up.
That's dope. And shout out to you. I also had a show on my university's radio station.
What was the programming?
I was talking about fashion. That's okay. My past life. I'm not in that career anymore, obviously. But shout out to you. No, that's dope. And you do meet a lot of people through and get a lot of experience through university radio stations. So if you guys are college kids out there listening to this, interested in music, that could be a very easy start into getting this type of exposure, and you can put it on your resume.
Hey, that's another thing. Yes, indeed. Yes. And that's built some of my relationships to this day was, once you don't see it back then, but the relationships I built back then, I still have to this day. And that's what's allowed me to propel to even found this agency. So yes, that's a big word of advice to the people in college right now. Really foster those relationships. And I'm telling you, never know where that'll take you.
So transitioning from being, on the radio at your school and then being an artist, what made you go into, sounds like the business side of the music industry and not stay on the artistry side, being a host or being a singer or continuing to DJ? What, made you want to transition into the business side of music? Because those are two different things.
Right. Well, I will be honest. The first part was, I just don't think I was a good enough rapper, You gotta
keep it real with yourself.
My name is Kev. See, that's what I'm talking. It just wasn't. It just was.
Oh, yeah, Kevin,
yeah, you're a rapper like me. My name is Dana, and I'm a Kev. All the dudes in the loo want to feel on my chest. Yeah,
I got all the girls. Yeah, the girls.
Yeah, that wasn't it, Kevin. That wasn't it.
That wasn't it. And I released this album and I'm dating myself, but I released this. I thought this was the best thing in the world. I released the album back in 2006, and I thought this was it. This was going to break all world records. Michael Jackson, watch out. Forget rap, but Michael Jackson, watch out. And I released it, and even my family just wasn't, I didn't get much of a response. So, I was like, wow. And then I was hearing what, the mainstream was putting out. I was like, wow, this stuff does not meet it doesn't meet the criteria. So, all right. But, I still have that love for music. So what am I going to do? So you sit down and you're like, hey, let's move on. Let's not try to do this, into perpetuity. Let's let's move on and see what else we're doing. So the skills that I developed from the university, and by that time I had a corporate job, which, I don't care what anybody says, the corporate world prepared me for the music business world like you would never believe. So I took all of that and I was like, let's go into the business side as far as being a business manager, music administration, and even being a sound engineer. So that's how that developed. And, I ran with it, and I actually enjoyed that more than being an artist because you have so much more leeway. Being an artist kind of puts you in a box. You have to act a certain way and people expect certain things with you. In this role, I can just be who I am and flow with it.
So what artists have you worked with in your journey to becoming, because it sounds like you're on a Quincy Jones type track.
I hope so.
Yeah. So what artists have you worked with so far? Which artists that are out there that kind of fit your mode of, would you work with country artists? Do you work with R&B artists or just rappers? What's the flow of that? Yeah. I'm happy. The question is coming together slowly, but
okay. Well, initially I was strict. That was my moniker, strictly hip hop. At the time when I first started, rap was like some new baby, and it was just like it was a bastard child of music. It was like that rap, that boopity bop stuff. Now it's mainstream, but at that time, it was like some new child, unknown, and that's what I dealt with for the most part. And then once again, as you evolve, you need to get into other aspects of music to once again create a revenue stream. So I got into R&B, reggae, and all the types. So basically, all genres welcome is my mantra. But through that time, I've worked with a number of independent artists through the years. And right now, do you know the song Angel, Rayvon and Shaggy?
Yeah.
Yes. So I work closely now with Rayvon and an artist named Sugar Bear, and they're reggae artist. And so that's my main projects right now. We're going through a number of promotions right now to make sure their single I See You reaches the heights, as far as we could take it. So those are my main guys right now.
Nice. Yeah, I'm big on, people that listen to the show, they know I'm big on reggae and Afro beats and soca music. That's my jam. So that's tight. That's tight.
Yes, indeed. From the Caribbean? Or you just love the music?
My father's side of the family is West Indian. So
okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you figured out early on that, I'm not a good rapper. Because some people will go on and talk can't hold a note, can't sing, can't rap, but
spend their whole 30s trying to make it.
I want to do it with Trey Songz. Yeah.
No, come on, sis, come on, bro. Let's move on and do something else. So the fact that you were okay, let's try to figure out, because there are so many different avenues, like in most careers. And this goes for anybody. If you're not good at something in one particular area, try to pivot and figure out if you still want to be in that industry, you can pivot and say, you know what, maybe I'll be better suited over here doing this.
Yes, right.
Make my talent, work for me, just so that you can stay in the industry. So I thought that was super dope. With your current artists that you're working with, what types of are you doing? Mostly I heard you say promotion. So what exactly are you doing? What do you do with your artists? When you get an artist, what is your responsibility for that artist? To promote them, to get their songs? What does that entail?
It's basically project based. It's getting that song in front of as many people as possible. It's exposing their music to the masses, because on the streaming platform, since now streaming is the way we consume music. Do you have accounts on any of the streaming platforms?
Spotify. Yep. I used to have Apple Music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's the way people consume music now. So that's wonderful, but with that said, there are tens of millions of songs on these platforms. Since now it's so easy to distribute your music to the masses, so there's tens of millions of songs. So it's my job to help make their song, needle through all that as the needle in the haystack, skip to the front. as best as possible through email marketing, playlist placement. We also use Facebook and Instagram ads, and just general social media exposure. So we use these methods to try and expose the song to as many people as possible to kind of make it, stand apart from the millions of songs out there. So that's where we come into play, particularly, and that's very helpful for the independent artist.
So basically, y'all who have seen the Temptations movie, he is, what's our girl?
The first manager?
Yes, the first manager, Vanessa Bell Armstrong.
Oh
Vanessa Bell Armstrong.
Love her. She's a great actress.
Yes, beautiful actress, Vanessa Bell Armstrong. So you're like that character in that movie, pretty much.
Hope I don't end up like her. Yes.
Well, no, you're not going to end up like her. We ain't speaking that over your life. But anyway, what has been the most rewarding and what has been your biggest pain points in doing that? Because obviously the radio plays the same for artists back to back to back to back to back. We all know that they're paid to do that by these big conglomerate radio companies. So obviously there's pain points if you're coming in, with your firm trying to get your songs on the radio. So what are your pain points, and what are some things that you really love about doing this job?
Well, the pain points, as you say, is literally, and this is what I impress on anyone who comes aboard, is that you really have to invest in your career, and I mean financially. Unfortunately, this is not it's not a meritocracy. Oh, my song is great, it's going to get heard. That's a beautiful, wonderful thought, pie in the sky, but in reality, money talks in this industry, and that's a pain point to me because there's so much. I get my email is flooded with requests every day, and I'm like, wow, this is a great artist, and I know that the name of the game is money. The radio stations won't listen to you, the blogs, the press, any forms of media. It takes money to get the word out. So that was a big pain point for me. But having said that, the rewarding part is those who are able to invest. And I understand that everybody's not able to invest, but it takes sacrifice from the artist, regardless what they're doing. If they have a 9-to-5 or whether they've decided to go full throttle and just do this full time and struggle, it takes some type of investment. And whatever they've decided to do, it makes a difference in that aspect. But the rewarding part is when you actually see some progress. Like, for instance, you have an artist will say, here, this is what I have to work with. And I'm able to make that little bit of money work into blog features, work into a little bit of airplay, work into a appearance at a venue, just something showing progress, because that can be very discouraging when there's like nothing happening. No one's listening to the music. They're getting no feedback. So that's the rewarding part, is just seeing that feedback from people. And even if it's just a couple of people, that just encourages the artist to keep going and going and going. So that's what I'll say on that part.
You mentioned how you are, your role is to push artists the best you can.
Yes.
Since you're not backed by, and you can tell me if you are, but are you backed by any like major publishing companies or any major record labels that assist you with that? Because that's hard work to try to push. For instance, like right now, Tiana Taylor is dealing with that. She feels like she's backed by a major label, but they're not pushing her like she needs to be pushed, and they have the money. I just heard you talking about, and they have the money to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So are you backed by a major label? And if not, what type of, challenges does that have for you?
Yes. Well, no, I'm completely independent. And that's why our mantra is to, boost my platforms. That's why I created the radio station and the music blog and the publishing company, to offer something else to the independent artist out there, because even though the resources out there, it's never been a better time to be an independent artist, but at the same time, the cost effectiveness of it is not out there. So, they're there, but many people can't afford it. So in the instance of Tiana Taylor, her story is so common. And that's why you're seeing a trend now in music where actually many artists are like, you know what? I'm not going to sign. Because yes, even though the record label has tons of resources, for instance, okay, she's on a major label, but let's say you're on a label with a big artist. So let's say, okay, I've been signed, but Drake is on the label as well. All right, cool. I release an album in March. But Drake's album is coming out in April. The label is going to push all of its resources into that Drake album. So your album slated to release, I mean, yeah, you finished it in March, but they've pushed all of their resources into this Drake album. So you wait. Your album's probably not coming out until September. Okay? So now you have, let's say you have some timepieces. Let's say, yeah, you did a song about the coronavirus when it first, hit all the lockdowns in April. Your album's coming out in October and November. It's old. It's useless. And there's stories of artists, I mean, even 2-3 years from the time that the album was done. So it's frustrating being with the label in the sense that there goes the freedom. So it's a double-edged sword. As an independent artist, you can do whatever you want. You release when you want. You can do features with whoever you want, but you're tied with a major label. They control who you do songs with and when it comes out. So I definitely see her frustration. And she said, I don't know if she's serious about this, but she said she's retiring.
Yeah, which is crazy.
That's crazy because she's talented.
Good.
Yes. And I saw that and I was like, wow, this industry can really beat you down. And that's what I was talking about. It just beats you. And if you don't have that, and hey, I understand. I don't know how long she's been doing it, but if you don't have that constant fortitude, because literally throughout these 20 plus years, I've got that same beat down where it's like, it's over. Like in 2016, I was done. And I came back when I formed the agency in 2018. So I took 2 years off because I was done.
So what made you be done? Like, what's the story behind that? What made you get to a point where you wanted to hang up your hat on your dreams?
Well, it was, like I said, it was, I had almost some 15 plus years in the industry, and then the needle had moved, but it hadn't moved enough to where I was like, here I am, I'm still pushing, and, I haven't seen the wealth and the fame. And, I think my daughter was around 2 at that time. And I was like, I need to concentrate on her because I was still doing the traveling, the late night studio sessions. By that time, I was a studio engineer and producer. So I'm on the other side and I'm doing beats for artists. I'm doing songs. And that actually takes more time to being an artist because you're in studio sessions. And those literally lasted into the night, into the morning. And it just wreaks havoc on you. I'd gained like some 70 pounds. I was a mess. So, yes. So I was almost 200 pounds. My doctor was like, what's going on with you? And I never forget, I actually had one night I was out with my wife, and this was the one rare night we're out and we actually got to relax and party. And someone was just bugging me, texting me off the hook. Yo, did you get the studio session? Did you send it off to the label? And he just kept texting me. And I was like, I can't live like this anymore. And I never responded to him. And from that night, I was like, I'm done. I'm going to concentrate on getting healthy, change my eating style, lose weight, and just move on with life. And that's what I did from that night on, 2 years until somehow someone I connected with in college reached back out to me in 2018. And hey, the rest is history. So that's what I'm saying. Those relationships reached out to me at random. We hadn't spoken in about 2 years.
And so what keeps you, I guess, going and motivated to keep coming back to music? What keeps you, with all of the challenges and the hurdles and all of the stress that comes with being in the music industry, what keeps you wanting, coming back?
I would say that, simply it's just something I'm good at and I enjoy, and it's something I know how to navigate. And having been in the corporate world for a time, and once again, this was great, I realized that I really didn't enjoy that. Even with the beatdowns that the music industry can give you, and the amounts of no's. Like, if you can't take no, you're trying to get into the music industry, you're in the wrong industry. There are, I would say it's 90%. No, move on next. The actual vote of approval is a rare thing in this industry. So you have to build up a mental fortitude to just be able to push on. So it's something that, I just realized that, hey, yes, it is a long haul and a grind, but it's something that I enjoy and I'm good at, and I can earn in it. And what I'm trying to do is earn to the highest level so I can, maintain for my family going forward and provide my children a lifestyle that I wasn't able to have as a child growing up. So that's really what drives me day in and day out as I'm sitting here early in the morning at 3 a.m. and etc.
And if you're doing something you're passionate about, it's not really work. Like,
Right.
I know I get caught up sometimes in things that I'm really passionate about. And it's like, oh, damn, 8 hours has passed. I haven't eaten. I haven't gone to the bathroom. But I've been sitting here working and getting my shit together, getting my shit done because I love it. So I can totally identify with that. So production, that's a huge thing in the music industry, and to have that talent is very, very, very cool. Who are some of your favorite producers, and who are you inspired by when you start producing music? And also, last piece of this question, what artists have you produced songs for so far?
Gotcha. All right. So my inspiration, I would say, artist wise, it was Michael Jackson starting out as a youngster. So that was my songwriting inspiration. But as a producer, Timbaland totally just messed up my mind. When he first came out with those beats with Missy Elliott and Aaliyah and Genuine, that totally, I'll never forget. I walked into a studio session around that time. And, I was doing the old style, quote unquote. And this guy was like, wait, what's that, man? That's old school, man. You need to mesh up your drums, man. Your drums need to skip, man. Come on. Have some energy to your track, like Timbaland. I was like, man, I can't do that stuff. And I hadn't really even listened to him really, but the more I listened to the tracks that he produced, I was like, wow, he literally switched up the entire game to the way people produce. And you even hear it now. This is some over 20 years later, you still hear the effects of what Timbaland has meshed in the industry. So he's a definite inspiration on me. And right now, the younger guys like London on the Track, Metro Boomin, these guys are really expanding the game in the rap.
And R&B, London on the Track, Summer
London,
Walker, Ariana Grande, he done crossed over to pop. So
that's what I'm saying. And that's a good thing. These guys, that's the beauty. Like you look at the Billboard Top 100, a majority of the songs are rap songs. That's what I'm talking about. Rap has become the new pop. It's really mainstream now. And it's a beautiful thing to see from where it started out as this little baby, and it's really grown into something. It's really a part of the American lexicon now. You see kids in the suburbs, the hats turned back, and they're trying to live the culture as the culture they think. But
they need to sit down.
I know. I know. I get up. I get kind of upset, but I know it's what's projected in the media, and I don't like that, particularly when you see these reality shows. They're projecting that, they're projecting a certain, certain lifestyle. It's not true. Yes, hip hop is a beautiful thing, and it's not it's just not something to be, I don't even know the word. It's not
stereotypes.
There you go. That's the word. Hat to the back. Yo, what's good?
What's good, my nigga?
Yeah. Oh, I even hate that from the black. I hate that word. Word should not even be used. It's a derogatory term, and it's like, yo, how are we using that to empower ourselves? Nah, get that out of here. Get that out of here. Now, having said that, I like some of those love those trap tracks, but at the same time, I don't like to hear that. And once again, that gives that gives society, it's like, oh, if they're saying it, I can say it. So that's why I'm like, get that out of here. How can you tell a whatever, a white or Italian kid in the suburbs, he's just reciting the lyrics that's out there, right? She like, nah. She's like, I don't like that. She's like, I don't like that.
But I see what you're saying, but at the same time, you know better than that. But some people don't. So, ignorance.
They don't. They'll say it. Yeah. I see him reciting. I'm like, wow, look at that. He feels empowered to say that. But I'm like, can I really be critical? Mm-hmm. If the rapper themselves is blurting it out like 15 to 20 times in the track, I'm like, okay, I guess so. Like you'll hear a Mexican rapper or whatever. You'll hear any other race. They are not using the derogatory term of their race in that music. So that's what kind of bothers me about today's rap. But hey,
well, to your point, like for example, Tekashi 6ix9ine or
right.
Yes.
He feels comfortable enough, and I feel like also that has a lot to do with the people that are around him. All these yes men. Obviously, there are people that feel like it's okay, and that's totally not okay. I don't like him at all, and I definitely don't feel like he should be saying that. And unfortunately, Black people be okay with it because you don't hear a lot of people saying anything about it. So yeah, to your point, like I guess they, it's for them. It just feels some type of acceptable, but he know better now. He know better. But he doesn't get accountability. So, but that's a whole nother thing. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
so what are you looking to? You've accomplished a lot in these last 20 years, but what are you looking to continue to accomplish, like for yourself with your artists, going forward?
Yes. Well, the main goal is to create a really viable platform where independent artists can come to. Ultimately, I want to create my own label where independent artists can come to and not be screwed. Because unfortunately, the majors or even indie labels, the goal of most labels is to screw the artist. And through my 20 years, I have discovered it doesn't have to be that way. There really is enough money. The record industry recorded record amounts of revenue last year and continues to, even through the pandemic and coronavirus, still maintaining record amounts of revenue, and still record labels continually, the contracts are engineered to screw the artist. So my goal is to create a platform where we all can eat, so to speak.
Yes.
It really doesn't have to be that way. Want artists to feel comfortable. These contracts have the fine print, which eventually screws them. Once you sign to a record label, you have been provided a bank loan, essentially. They're providing you a loan. People get enamored with the fact that, I'm getting an advance. I'm getting an advance of, let's say, $375,000. And that is beautiful. Especially when you've come from an environment where you are struggling, your family's struggling. But that money is just to produce the album. That's not your money. And many people fail to realize that. You owe the label that money back. So you're not getting a royalty until you make that money back. So the first album is, you familiar with the story of TLC?
Yeah, for sure.
How they sold all those records, world tours. They don't have any money. It's not their money. That all went to the record label. And they still owe the label. So now you do your second album in the red. You still owe them. So it's just a never-ending cycle of owing the label, and you never earn what you should. So I'm really intent on earning enough to the fact where I can give independent artists the true opportunity to get their music out, sign to a label, and we all eat and be successful without having to screw them.
Sounds like quality control to me.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. I will not have stories like Puff Daddy.
I'm gonna say, you ain't
see all
gonna
those artists?
Puff Daddy shit.
They're like, get me out this contract. It's like, wow. It's like they're locked in.
And that opens up a whole nother discussion because P. Diddy is black as hell. All his artists are black as hell. And you still use them to make himself a billionaire. You still use
horrible.
your peeps. So
Mm-hmm.
it's great that you're trying to change the course of the music industry and where it's going. And we've seen over the years how things have changed, where artists are basically managing themselves. They're
Yes.
putting their content out themselves on SoundCloud or releasing it to Apple Music. So this idea that you have is truly unique, and it might help those who want to put their music out there but not necessarily have the business part about it.
Right.
And they're concerned about getting screwed.
You own my masters for what? How many years? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's tough.
Hopefully
Even
we'll
Prince.
hear Tiana has signed to the Icon.
I know she's beat down, but I hope that, after maybe a year or 2 years off, she's like, let me go back in here and put, she's really a talented artist, and it's a shame.
She's so talented, and I really hate that she feels like that. But I've said, even on this show, because we have a segment where we talk about music, I'm a huge fan of hers. Her music is so good, but again, if nobody hears it, if nobody checks it out, like what is this? And there's hundreds of artists like that. So
yes,
this is absolutely needed for the music industry in general, and especially for our people, because like you said, when they give us these big contracts, we go ham. We want the ice. We want, because a lot of us grew up not even having that stuff. So go overboard and, like TLC, like MC Hammer, like Tony Braxton 30,000 times. Like, it does not always end well for them. So this is really cool insight into kind of like the behind the scenes aspect of the music industry. And I'm so glad that you were here to share this experience with our coworkers. So to kind of wrap up, I kind of want you to reflect a little.
Oh boy.
If you could go back to the moment in your life where you knew this was something that you wanted to pursue and you were dead set on it, knowing what you know today, what would you tell Kevin back then?
Yes, indeed. That's a good, what? I don't even have to think about this. Do it with intention. And I didn't do that back then. I wanted to do it, but I did not put in the necessary work to really do it. I liked the idea of being in music, but I didn't put in the necessary work to really, really do this thing in music. So that's what I would definitely say. There were certain things I should have done along the way that would have really just, I think, eased the flow. Like when I was on that radio station doing the show, I should have seeked out an internship at the local radio station. There's even more contacts. Helps you out. But I was enthralled with the fact of I got a little name on campus when I go out to the parties. People know me. Hey, can I get a shout out on your show? I love that. But that should not have been the way. And I love the female attention, of course. I was like, yeah, but that should have been on the back burner. I should have been thinking about the business side. And I know that is tough, but I definitely should have thought about the business side. And I think we would have been in a different position going forward. But having said that, you learn from all of that and you move forward. And hey, I'm happy that I have this goal in mind, because I really think once I establish this, it's going to create what I call the new music industry. And I've seen that hashtag out there on social media, because there's other agencies and companies that are like, hey, we don't have to do it this way. We can do it another way. So why not? Let's switch the narrative as far as music goes.
Well, that is so awesome, Kevin. Thank you so much for being on our show today. You gave us and our coworkers a lot of insight in, the business side of the music industry. And even if our coworkers are thinking about going into the music industry,
hey,
set some gems on them, and hopefully they can reach out to you. But thank you for your contributions to the culture and what you're doing and trying to create this new music industry. And, sounds like with a good heart and with good intentions in mind for the people that you're working with. So thank you so much. And please tell us where we can follow you, where we can see what you're doing, see what you have up and coming, and just let us know what's, next for you and where we can find you.
People can follow me at, first, the website of the company, First Icon Agency, is firsticonagency.com. On Instagram at First Icon Agency, Twitter as well. And the other platforms I was talking about, the Streamline Music Blog and Platinum Vibes Radio. These are platforms where indie artists can get the word out on their music. So, like I said, if any of your coworkers, want to get into music or they have people they know, hey, our platforms are willingly ready to promote any indie music artists and their initiatives.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kevin.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
It's time for the break room.
It's the break room. It's the break room. What you gonna do? Girl, we finna spill all the tea.
Hey, it's the break room. What's the break room?
All right, well, y'all, let's take a break and head on over to the break room. Wendy's mom passed away, so I just want to say condolences to her family. If you watch her show, though, you know that her mom has definitely been a major part of her life. She talks about her mom all the time. Her mom, before the pandemic came, her mom and her dad used to come to the show a lot. They had their own seat and everything. So, and the odd thing about it is that her mom passed like hellas ago, because she was like many weeks ago. That's what she said. So I don't know why she's just now bringing it up to us, but regardless of the fact, shout out to Wendy and her mom passing away. That's very sad.
Yeah, so sorry to hear. Losing your mother, regardless of how old you are.
Oh my gosh.
That girl, I can't even. So
I can't either.
I feel so sorry during the holiday. Like, all of that stuff is probably really affecting her right now. So, much prayers and love to Wendy Williams. Very sorry for your loss.
Yeah, and if you watch the show, all next week until January 4th will be just reruns. So she's gone until next year. Okay, so the Grammys is just getting all the flack, all the shade from artists, feeling snubbed from awards as per usual. I mean, specifically Black artists. And now they've done it again by snubbing Tiffany Haddish. So the president of the Recording Academy, his name is Harvey Mason Jr., issued an apology to Tiffany Haddish. Why? Because unbeknownst to him, supposedly he had no knowledge of this, they did not offer Tiffany any compensation to cover her cost for the pre-show. They asked her to do the pre-show, to host the pre-show, and they did not offer her compensation.
Oh, so not happening all the time. You guys forgot to pay a Black woman. Oh, that's such news. Like, y'all did that shit on purpose. Come on, stop.
And so Harvey Mason Jr. said that he called her, personally and apologized to her about this. He said he had no idea about it.
Apologize? Did you pay her? That's the thing. Did you give her point? What?
Well, Tiffany has declined. She's like, no, I'm not doing it. So, as she should, respectfully, I'm good on that. I'm not doing it. Now, I don't know if recently she said that she's going to end up doing it, because the Grammys comes on, I believe, in January or February. But that's wrong that y'all was like not trying to pay her. Now, would y'all have done that to one of your white counterparts?
Adam Sandler,
Drew Barrymore? No, I'm sure we would not be going through this. So shout out to Tiffany for knowing her worth and moving on. Also, Taraji P. Henson has a new show coming to Facebook Watch called Peace of Mind with Taraji. The purpose of the show is to change the perception of mental health in the Black community.
Okay.
Yeah, the show airs on Monday, December 14th, and it looks like it's actually going to be really good. She has guest celebs like Tamar, who actually needs to be on there and talk to somebody, child.
Tamar needs to see a real therapist and
Not Taraji.
stop going on these fucking talk shows having therapy with the world. Go see Inyanya behind the camera.
Baby, she done talked to Tamron. She said, now I'm about to go holler at Taraji.
That's not therapy.
Tamar and Gabrielle Union were some of the celebs that were, featured or on the show. So that should be really good. I know Taraji has talked about in the past how she's dealt with mental health issues herself. So the fact that she's bringing that awareness to our community, because we don't like to talk about therapy in the Black community, or we think it's stupid. Like, hopefully she can bring another type of perspective to it.
Yeah, good for her.
So, in reality news, Love Hip Hop Hollywood cast members have been showing out this week. First on the list, or the toting pole, however you say that, is Ray J. Okay, he was on all over IG, posted up with the cast member from Bad Girls Club. I never watched Bad Girls Club, but I do know, our girl Tanisha. She was like the veteran or the GOAT. He was on there with some white bitch, all over her. She all on the Instagram. We're on Instagram, and he like, oh, we on Instagram? He kissing her. Like, just the disrespect was just absolutely absurd. So supposedly the divorce is still processing now for the 10th time. And Princess has told him to live his life. But damn, Ray J. That's how you go live. Like, that's ridiculous. But also Brandy and Max Lux, also on the Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. So this week, Brandy was on live, and an altercation erupted while on live, and you could hear tussling and bitch this, bitch that. You heard the baby crying in the background, and all this, y'all, happened on live. So the next day, Brandy came back to Instagram and was like, look at me, look at me, look at my neck, look at my arms. Like, he didn't hit me. He doesn't abuse me. And then Max came the next day and was like, I don't abuse my wife. I don't abuse my children. I don't beat on my family. And Moniece, another cast member, said, child, please, it's been going on since going on could be going on. They've been doing this for the whole time that they've been together. But it's in poor taste. I just don't feel like, why are y'all going? She was like, I went on live because I felt like it would calm him down.
Oh, God.
Something
girl.
to that effect. Like, she didn't say those words specifically, but it's just like, I don't know if they're doing this because they haven't been on the show in a couple of years. So I don't know if they're doing this to try to get a storyline going so that they can be on the show.
Wrong way.
It is the wrong way to do it. And if you really need help, or if something's really going on, I just don't agree with going on live again and putting all of your business out there like that. Like, it's unnecessary. It's embarrassing. It's just not okay. Why do people feel like they have to go to social media as their therapist, I guess? I don't know what they're gaining from that. I mean, I don't know. What do you think about it, Dana?
I think with all of these Love and Hip Hop people, they just want back on the show. They want to create their coins from it. I don't believe this whole Ray J and Princess bullshit. Like, I feel like they have some super elaborate orchestrated plan to make themselves look like a messy ass couple so that they can capitalize on it. That's just my thoughts. I don't believe their drama. As far as this lady goes, what's her name?
Brandy,
you are being abused. And I'm not trying to laugh behind that. As a former person who was in a domestic violence relationship, all of that shit is keen to me. Oh, he don't hit me, this and that. I thought I could record him so he can calm down. I used to do all of that shit. I really encourage you to seriously get some help maybe this all happened on live for a reason, for this part of your life to be exposed so that you can really take a deep look inside and see where your pain points are, because this ain't it, boo. This is not it. This nigga is up here. Oops, I said the N word after our guest just closed.
We don't like that.
But anyway, if he's not even hitting you, he has an anger problem, clearly. Grown adult men don't act like that. They don't throw temperature. They don't have to holler and yell and get aggressive and violent with you or whatever when there's some type of conflict. That is not real. If you find yourself in a situation where that is the norm and that is how you guys communicate, that is very toxic. So, Brandy, I hope that you being exposed for being in an abusive relationship will cause you to seek help. There are plenty of women out there like you. Emily B, she's still giving her abusers babies and, running around taking cute family photos with him or whatever.
Did he abuse her? Hold on. He's abused her before?
Girl, what? You didn't hear about when Fabulous beat Emily B's ass?
No.
It was on camera, yeah. He beat her ass, like her face.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry to go
and then he got arrested for it, and she went to court and was like, nah, drop the charges. So, that is victim of a domestic violence type behavior. So get some help, girl. That ain't your dude. That's not the one. You at the end of the day, you don't want, and I don't know if you have kids or whatever, you don't want your son to think it's okay to act like that.
She has a son. They have a son.
You don't want your son to think that's okay to act like that. And you don't want your daughter to think that it's okay to date a man that's like that. The way that you hurt, the way that he hurts you, somebody will be hurting your daughter in that way. If that can change your mind about staying with this man, somebody will hurt your daughter in that way. And she is going to think it's okay. It's going to be a part of her trauma. It's going to be a part of the way she relates to love, with chaos and drama and grown-ass men throwing temper tantrums. So you need to decide as a woman, as a mother, this ain't it. This ain't what I want. This ain't the nigga. And get out of that. So I pray for your children's sake and your sake, but I pray for your children's sake especially that you wake up and do better for yourself.
And that goes for everybody, not just the celebrity. We might be talking about this for a reason. If you over there and you're trying to contemplate on leaving somebody or anything like that, I think we've talked about this on the show, but this is serious.
Making excuses for them, been there, done that.
For men, don't
blaming yourself, been there, done that.
So, but in better Love and Hip Hop news, Atlanta cast members BK Brasco and Sierra Gates got engaged after their long time going back and forth. Child, he proposed, and the ring is everything. So, congratulations to them. Sierra Gates is the owner of the glam shop in Atlanta. So anyway, speaking of Atlanta, The Real Housewives of Atlanta premiered last week. It aired. And I don't know how I feel about the show at this moment. It's just the first episode, but it really feels like something is missing for me. Could be Nene, could be Sheree, could be Phaedra, could be all the dramatic, drama-filled women that I need on the show so that it can feel like it has some umph.
I think it's going to get better because I've seen the little highlights, and I guess Drew Sidora and that other chick, they coming with it. So
yeah, and it looks like the show will be centered around the stories about Candy, Cynthia, Ken, and Portia. So we'll see. Nothing really out of the ordinary happened on this episode, but there are things, like you said, Dana, that are coming down the pipe regarding, I think it's called Sexgate or something that happened at a party that they had where Tanya and Portia had a threesome or something like that. So we'll see how that goes. But let's move on to Real Housewives of Potomac. The season finale aired, and it was a disgusting mess.
A disgusting mess.
Robin and Juan's holiday party, Juan finally proposed to Robin. So shout out to Robin for getting engaged. It was all good till Karen showed up and the shit hit the fan. Okay. So Karen shows up late after a delayed flight, and Candace and Karen get into a back and forth about the situation between her and Monique, who was about the whole situation that we talked about the whole Monique showing up late and Candace showing up late. The situation escalated, it got loud, and in Michael Darby, Raggedy, Ashley Darby, their whole Raggedy family, Darby, just Kentucky Darby, just nasty.
Not Kentucky Darby.
Oh my gosh. In their fashion, he decides to be messy, much like his wife, like I've been saying, and goes to Chris Bassett, Candace's husband, and says, "Hey man, you need to control your wife. Control your wife."
Chris Bassett was like, "The fuck you talking about?" Chris Bassett said, "I'm married to a black woman. What the fuck you talking?"
Chris Bassett said, "Not today.
Not today, bitch."
He took his finger, his pointer, and pushed Michael. Now, let's be clear. This wasn't an aggressive push to me.
It was not.
It wasn't to where, but in white privileged man fashion, Michael starts yelling, "Are you touching me? He's touching me. Are you touching me? He's touching me." Then proceeds to say, "You're going down. You're going to jail.
I'm going to get my lawyer." White man. Listen, you bitch. Well, first of all, I don't dislike Michael Darby and I don't dislike Ashley Darby.
What? I'm gonna have your opinion, friend.
I mean, I don't like or dislike them. They just exist. My thing is, you gonna have to go the fuck somewhere with this white man bullshit. Like, you clearly were drunk. You were in this man's face talking shit. He told you to pipe down, and all of a sudden you're a victim. Like, he did that shit. That's the shit. That's that Karen ass shit.
Yeah.
They get us killed on the streets.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm not fucking with. Michael Darby, you bitch ass. Like, first of all, and then Ashley with her, "Oh my God, you're embarrassing me." You know your dude act like this. You know he over here tripping, and then she even got hyped off of the drunk ass shit that he was telling her, and he wasn't even right. He hit me. So then Ashley turns up. Y'all all looked dumb, but who looked dumber? Well, actually, Michael Darby takes number one dumbass in this situation. But to me, who looked dumber was Candace and her turning #ratchet when her husband and Michael Darby were going back and forth. Ma'am, you have sat almost this entire season playing the, "Oh, I have class. I'm this type of black woman. I don't do that." Even though we know you roll up on people like you finna fight them, you're not about that life. Or roll up on people with weapons trying to hit them, you're not about that life. And so now you up in the club clowning with your boo, with Ashley and them. Like, the story, this is my problem. The story you're selling, Candace, I cannot buy when you continue to display the behavior that got your head knocked off the first time. I'm done. I'm cool on y'all. Like, this was a boring ass, stupid ass end of the show. I can't wait for this reunion, honey, because, you know, I want to see all of these receipts Monique claims she got.
She got a binder of receipts. Yeah, it was just a disgusting mess how the show ended. And let me just say, this man's infatuation with Juan is disgusting.
Girl, now I understand it because Juan is fine, but dude, come on.
Juan is fine, but I don't want my husband talking about a man more than he talk about me. He done talked about Juan, compliment Juan on this show more than he done complimented Ashley on the show the past 8 years they've been on this damn show. Like, it's ridiculous. And her ugly, y'all, I don't like her. Her ass went on Watch What Happens Live, and me and Dave was talking about this. She went on Watch What Happens Live and supported him and was like, Andy was like, what's up with all these comments that Juan's made? I don't think that, he's secure about himself. So I think it's okay that he compliments other men. Girl, that much? You okay with your man complimenting the man that much? Like,
Girl,
he's
not only do he be complimenting him, he be like looking him up and down, licking his lips, like, And hey, I don't blame you because I feel the same way about Juan. So
Juan is fine, but I don't need you. And wait, can we take a minute on Ashley, y'all? The Potomac girls gotta take notes from Atlanta because that bitch looked like a damn 10th grader. Sitting up there on Watch What Happens Live. This girl had on a damn yellow halter top with some ugly ass dollar store earrings.
She had on them After 5 ass earrings.
After 5.
Her hair was
pulled back, thumb down.
She flat ironed it herself with some Conair flat irons.
Bitch, you look dumb looking like she was headed to, that bitch looked like she was headed to 5th period. Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't like her. I really don't, y'all. I just don't like her. Moving on to Real Housewives of Salt Lake City real quick. Still sick of Jen and her antics this week. Pick back up from Mary's Met Gala lunch. But the argument that Mary and Jen had was so petty to me. Jen made a comment and said, I say what you guys are thinking, but won't say. And Mary was like, I would never say what you say. And it just opened up a whole pointless ass argument. And Jen brought up the fact that Mary once said if Black people were in front of a 7-Eleven, that she wouldn't go. That she would go to another one.
I believe
that. But that why does that justify what we're talking about in this current situation? I feel like Jen tries to make Mary look like the bad person in any, like, regardless of what the topic is. Like, she just brings up, well, you're the one who said, like, what does that have to do with what we're talking about right now? I do believe that. And Mary said, like, hospitals and convenience stores, if Black people, I mean, it's ridiculous. Their argument is petty to me. I feel like it's petty.
They are two super emotional ass women. Mary went off because Jen gave this super heartfelt apology to Meredith, which she owed her, and didn't say nothing like, I'm sorry, Mary, for calling you a grandfather fucker. So, that's where Mary's disdain, I guess, from Jen in that moment came. But both of you bitches need to let it go. I totally believe Mary to be one of those Black people who feels that she is above. You know what? I'm gonna stop saying team anybody on this show because I really can't rock with all of you. Like at this point, it's team Meredith and team Whitney Rose and team Heather. Like those are my bitches. The rest of you bitches are whack.
Yeah, I love Meredith. Can do no wrong to me. I
love Meredith.
Class act, honey.
Yes.
I'm so here for her. So, anyways, moving on from the franchise that we love so much, Housewives. Lil Wayne pleads guilty to a gun charge and could possibly face up to 10 years of prison time.
Ooh.
He's just in a bunch of shit because his former manager is also suing him for $20 million for back pay of a pay increase that he never received during the few days between Birdman and him. So, Wayne, maybe all that capping you was doing for Trump paying off.
Hey, maybe. Maybe he wanted you niggas to go vote out and keep him rich so that he's able to pay these lawsuits. Hopefully, hey, your boy he got a couple of weeks left in office. Maybe you can get a pardon. You and your 3 dreads, bitch.
Meanwhile, this is what we got to talk about in music, y'all, because right now music goes on hold. Everybody takes a break. So, meanwhile, Lil Baby hasn't had a good week with allegations of him paying a porn star $6,000 to sleep with him.
$6,000.
Miss London, who was a porn star, went on Twitter. She went on a Twitter rant and just went in about Lil Baby. But Lil Baby, I just want to let y'all know what Lil Baby said. First, he denied it. Then the lady brought up some receipts about some DMs that he sent her. Lil Baby said, what's the point of paying if you do all that? You fucking the game up. If I pay for pussy, you ain't supposed to speak on it. That's bad business, mama.
Come on, but for real though, and you ain't gonna get no more customers after this. And what are you up here blasting him for, bitch? You the one that charged him $6,000. You fucking with a multi-millionaire, and you was like, give me $6,000 for this pussy. That's your bad, bitch. And you look dumb, not him, because men pay for sex all the time. Like, people pay for sex all the time. So you coming out here trying to blast him and make him look stupid. You actually made yourself look stupid and possibly lost some pretty good clientele. So your bad, just for some social media clout. Your bad.
Do anything for clout. And it's so sad because Jada, y'all know he's with Jada Cheeve. She's like a really big social media influencer. And it's just so sad because they was going in on that girl. And she was like, okay, y'all, can y'all stop now? Like, my feelings is hurt. But Lil Baby, you need to do better, because also his baby mama tweeted or went on Instagram and was like, how you paying $6,000 to a porn star but can't even pay your child $2,000 a month? Or it's a mess. Lil Baby, do better, because according to you make $400,000 a show.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that news article. Okay, hey, Lil Baby, you're still young, and it's time for you to not future this shit up. Like, get your shit together.
Please,
get your shit
baby.
together. Go to a therapist. Get on drug counseling. Get your shit together.
So, lastly, I just want to shout out, because we did talk about this last week. Gierbo, congratulations. He is him and his wife, or no, I'm sorry, that's not his wife. Him and his girlfriend are pregnant. She's 4 months pregnant, actually.
Surprise!
He faces up to 6 years in prison, but requested in court this week that he be able to travel between Chicago and New Jersey to see Tatiana because she's 4 months pregnant. So that sucks, because, damn, like, when you just pregnant, that is not something you want to have your dude there. Well, in some cases, because sometimes them hormones be all out of control, child. You be like, get away from me.
Right.
But that sucks for Tatiana or Tiana, whatever her name is. But congratulations to her on their baby. So anyways, y'all, these celebrities got a lot going on. And hopefully y'all ain't in as much drama as all of them for these holidays. But that's all I got for the break room.
All right, guys. Well, this is a little hard for me because I'm innately a very private person. I'm not the type of person to be speaking on my life or telling my business or anything like that. But you guys know I've been going to therapy. And one of the things my therapist recommended months and months ago, I still haven't done it, but she says that I should be a little bit more open and vulnerable with my life and what's going on with me. So this is hard. And I saved it to the end of the show, hoping y'all clicked off after the break.
Oh, no. You got this to be at the very front.
Oh, Jesus. So where do I start? Girl, my heart is beating. This is how bad this is for me. Like, I do not like talking about myself. But so we won't have a show next Saturday. We were scheduled to have a show. However, some things have come up in my life that I need to address. Look, I'm still private, but I will let you guys know. And this is the absolute first time I'm ever really even saying anything about this or talking about this or anything. But you guys might have noticed over the past, I guess, this year, like, I'll forget random words and, we make it into a joke, very simple words or pronounce stuff, or you might have heard a lot of sniffing going on in the background. That is because this year was hell for me too. Like a lot of you, I was diagnosed with cancer. And so a lot of our shows that we've been recording, I'm like fresh out of chemo, or I'm sick from chemo, or we couldn't record because I was so sick. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that, but I wanted to come forward and tell you guys what is going on and what I'm personally going through. Just so that you guys don't feel slighted, because you guys be writing us like, where the damn show at?
Right.
And I don't want nobody to feel slighted when we, there's times where we can't be as consistent as we want to be. We want these shows to come out every week. That's the goal. And we're going to work really, really hard to continue to do that. And just because I have cancer and, can't stop, won't stop, I got that P. Diddy energy, okay? We ain't going nowhere. The show ain't going nowhere,
We ain't going nowhere.
But, nothing's going to change, but that's what's been going on behind the scenes. Part of it. That's why, some weeks we have not been as consistent as we would like to be. But we so appreciate you all for just hanging in there every week, telling you guys friends about our shows, reposting the shows, liking our stuff. Like, even when we post on social media and you like a comment, we love you. If you make a comment, we love you. We love you guys so much. And we will not have a show next week, but the shows after that, we're going to have a couple of specials for our year-end deal. So we're going to have one show doing our best fuck you letters for the year and another show doing everything else that was dope about the show this year. So if you guys have any suggestions of stuff that you guys remember and you guys want us to feature, write us in, let us know. And hopefully some of our newer listeners can kind of hear what's been going on the whole rest of this year since before you guys start listening. So I feel like I'm talking too much and I'm just like, ugh, I just want to like take a bath and just sharing all my business, Lord.
It's good for the soul, friend. It's good for the soul.
It's good for the soul. So shout out to Chadwick Boseman. When he passed away, I was like in the thick of things and really feeling discouraged. So I want to dedicate this show to him, because if it wasn't for what I found out he was doing as he was dealing with the same stuff that I was dealing with, the surgeries, the chemo, the radiation, and all of that, like, it inspired me to keep going. So shout out to Chadwick Boseman. Love you to life, brother. And we'll see you guys really in the new year, but you guys are going to get some new shows after next week.
Well, since this is your last time hearing our live voices, you guys, I hope you have a happy and Merry Christmas, happy holidays, stay safe, keep your mask on, keep social distancing, and Happy New Year. And we hope to see you guys in the new year, and continue to hit us up on social media at Black at Work Pod, because we still gonna be around, child.
Wear a mask. Wear a mask. Wear a mask.
Wear a mask. I said, okay.
Hey. All right, bye guys.
Bye, y'all.